All right, joining me now is my favorite reporter in the whole wide world, columnist from the New York Post, the great Miranda Devine. Miranda, thank you. Glad you're on set today. Look, I just want to read this over again. Look, I'm not second-guessing Homan. He says he got 4,000 criminals. Now it's time for ICE to leave Minneapolis. Okay, fine. He and the president, fine. That doesn't mean it's over there. But these two-bit politicians in Minnesota, I mean, Fry is just a militia, not Fry. Walz, he's just a malicious village idiot. That's guy. He said they're going to pack their bags and give them an escort. You just have to be sarcastic as the governor of the state. Jacob Fry, the mayor, they thought they could break us, but a love for our neighbors and a resolve to endure. What is he talking about? And an outlast an occupation? What about, by the way, almost lost in this is the who knows what, 10 billion or 20 billion in fraud coming out of all these children's programs and welfare programs from Somalians who basically are illegal immigrants. And then, of course, my friend Amy Klobuchar, a long-time friend, I mean, I know her very well from the Senate. Minnesotans stood together, stared down ICE, and never blinked. I mean, she knows better than that. She doesn't have to be a big phony. But what's your take on it? You're either gonna defund ICE, or you're going to defund sanctuary cities. I mean, you've got a nice choice here. Which is it going to be?
Well, I mean, I think the American people have already chosen. They chose President Trump to defund sanctuary cities, but more importantly, to deport all the illegal migrants that came in under Joe Biden. And many of them, as Donald Trump keeps hammering, were not their best, as in they're from jails and mental asylums. I mean, the worst criminals, and we are, and probably terrorists, and we are reaping the consequences of that and will do so for 20 years, 30 years. Who knows what's lying in wait? But already, you know, ICE has a huge task ahead of it, and having this constant battle with the Democrats' street thugs has been difficult. But now we've put up the white flag. I really fear that that is just going to energise those Antifa types.
Leaving Minnesota.
Leaving Minnesota, yeah. It's just bowing to the Democrats, and I hope in Congress that they show a bit of gumption.
I mean, these local politicians in Minneapolis, they didn't sign anything. And what they've got is these sarcastic, nasty little bad boy tweets. That's all they're doing. They're like saying, "Hey, we won." But
they do have that talking point now. Like they can congratulate themselves that they ousted ICE, and all those horrible people that were attacking ICE officers and demonising them and doxing them and harassing them will just move to another state.
You know, when I spoke to President Trump on Monday, we had an interview. It was a very gracious interview. It was a good, informative interview. But I didn't hear any defeat from him on the issue. I mean, he was very clear. He said sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. And they don't really exist legally because federal law supersedes local law. So I don't know what it is they're defending. I mean, the federal ICE people have the law behind them to do what they've been doing.
They do, but I know Eric Adams was trying to unwind sanctuary cities. It's a very difficult legal thing to do. So even if you have a mayor who's on board, it's a tricky situation. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but certainly the deportation of the criminals has to continue.
I guess it's a milder issue, but the issue of endangerment, EPA deregulating, the idea here is that carbon emissions are not really a hazard to health, to ordinary day-to-day health. It had never been proven. There was never any congressional law to that effect. These were Obama and then later Biden executive orders. And Mr. Trump's going to unwind them. You wrote about that today in the New York Post.
Look, it's absolutely huge. This is really the final nail in the coffin of the climate hoax that we've all been labouring under all around the world since, you know, at least 20 years ago when Al Gore brought out that piece of propaganda, that apocalyptic movie, An Inconvenient Truth, that scared, you know, a generation of kids into thinking that really the planet was going to be all burned up by now. But, you know, their deadlines have kept on come and gone and nothing's changed. So I think people are now starting to wake up to the fact that it was a hoax and that a lot of people have made a lot of money out of it, and that it's really set back countries, America less so, but countries like I know Australia, which needs coal and affordable fossil fuels, has completely destroyed itself. Europe.
Destroyed Germany. Destroyed England.
Yeah.
Destroyed all those euros.
All the euros.
They're sitting on North Sea oil and gas deposits that could be used and were during the Thatcher years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, no, it's climate change. Tories and Laborites bought into it.
Exactly. That was the genius of this hoax, was they got both sides to do it by scaring the bejesus out of the voters. And now I think it's all over. And this is going to be, it's not just going to be cars and trucks and farm machinery, but it's going to be every piece of machinery around. And, you know, no more start-stop button in your car. How nice will that be? It's just been an insane time. Also, the EV mandates, people didn't realise, but it was only going to be 4 years from now, thanks to Joe Biden, that we were all going to be forced to be in electric vehicles. No longer. So America's showing the way. Let's see if the rest of the world follows.
So the tip-off was that America was winning, that Trump was winning. The tip-off was nobody wanted to talk about it at Davos.
Yes.
Even the Davos globalists didn't want to talk about climate change anymore. That was the leading indicator three weeks ago.
Isn't that amazing? They've been silent.
I know. It's a wonderful thing to have one of them silent on some subject. We'll try to get Lee Zeldin on, but Miranda Devine is really just as good, if not better.